Just give me the light.
Right? All right, 3, 2, 1, and welcome everybody back to a different conversation. And look who it is. It's the king himself, King Kem. It's me, Thomas Saxby. We are your host. We haven't done something like this in a little bit where, we just sit back and chop it up. We know you guys enjoyed all those episodes from the past, so we thought, why not bring it back a little bit? Why not just chop it up? Talk over a blunt, over some gumbo.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? So, let's start this off, Ken, with, how are you, man? How you been, man?
Well,
You
man.
look clean, man. You
Well,
cleaned
I,
up.
I appreciate it, man. So do you, man. It looks like the spring is being real good to us right now, man. New York is orange and blue skies right now. We had a little rain the past couple days, but man, New York is I can say like a total eclipse, you know what I mean, versus what it was in the
Bro.
winter, you know what I mean, to right now, man. It's amazing, man.
Yeah, I know you were
Yeah,
cursing people out
yes,
driving,
absolutely, absolutely. It's a
and now all of a
total.
sudden the Knicks have a path to the fucking championship. Like, what is what
you
is
see, you
happening?
see, you see what's going on back here, man. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man, I
So
feel like one day like the we just woke up in a fucking alternate universe.
the work has been being put in. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we'll cover, you know what I mean, as we enter in our sports talk. But the crazy thing is the work has been put in. You're able to see, like, what, even myself, right? So I got to be a homer when Homer is winning, but I am a Laker fan. Let's be real. But it's always
I mean,
beautiful.
it's the same way. So in football, like when
Hmm.
the Yankees are winning, I'm there for it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So I
Hmm.
definitely understand what you're saying.
Without a question, and how hard everybody has been on Tibbs and how hard he's ridden the players and everything. What I will say about this now is the culmination has shown that this is actually getting these dudes in optimal player form. Because at the end of the games, you know what I mean, in these two that we saw so far, what the Iron Man, Mikal Bridges, has been able to do, and just the team in the collective
Yeah.
and the defensive identity that they have taken on in the playoffs, right? Or against the Celtics, I should say. It's fucking
Hmm.
phenomenal, bro. It's crazy and it's sustainable. So
Yeah,
it's
bro.
scary. It's weird,
I
man.
mean, when it comes to the whole tips thing, I thought there was only one or two outcomes for these playoffs. I
Hmm.
thought, one, the Knicks weren't gonna look good
Hmm.
because the chemistry wasn't there.
Hmm.
Thibodeau, wasn't being a good coach at one point this season, or all that shit during the regular season was going to be in full preparation for the playoffs. I feel like the Knicks really like, and this is what some teams, should be doing, more often, kind of like switching up the rotation, like switching up the depth, seeing what works. Because realistically, we find it so many times that the regular season really doesn't mean much besides playoff seeding. And obviously, it's benefiting the Cavaliers. They're having, a better,
Hmm.
ride to the end than, the Knicks have to face the Celtics in the
Right.
second round.
Hmm.
But I think the Knicks all year they were just mixing up defensive rotations. They already knew that their offense was going to be good, and then playoffs come and their defense has been exactly what we thought it was last year. So yeah, I'll give Thibs his props, man. I mean, I think he's I really, and I'll go. I know I switch back and forth, but that's because I'm a Knicks fan. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yes.
when things are
Yes.
bad, everybody sucks. When
Yes.
things are good, everybody's
Yes.
good.
It's who we are.
But it goes back to how it was, in years past. He's locked in, man. Like he really wants to get this done. He really wants to change his narrative. I think it's cool. He's benching players when they need to be benched.
Hmm.
When players are struggling, they're not seeing the court as much.
Hmm.
So and I'm here for it. I'll fucking smoke to that.
Yes,
But
man. Hmm.
that's a conversation for a different
Yes.
episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that lends to why we are feeling
Oh
good.
yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I mean it's
Hmm.
true.
Hmm.
I'll say, man. So the Knicks have been winning against the Celtics when I've had a bad day. Like if I have a bad
Okay.
day in life, the Knicks have won.
Okay.
Today, I'm not having the best day so far. I mean, it's not like anything crazy has
Okay.
happened, but like, my routine, my schedule's been, messed up all day.
Hmm.
So hey, maybe that means something. Maybe that means, you feel me, the Knicks might be winning today, just like the other 2 days. Because
Man.
those 2 days that the Knicks won, I had some really fucking terrible days. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, man, I'm feeling great, man. I mean, as you
Hmm.
guys can tell, I got cleaned up finally. I've been taking care of myself, been doing a lot of self care. Been sticking to some new routines. I'm just really trying. At this age of 26, I'm turning 27 in 2.5 weeks here. So I'm really trying to make sure I get my health and everything in order because I'm not trying to be one of those people that they're
Mm,
35 and they're shot like they like they can't do nothing. You know what I
looking real
mean?
bad. Mm,
Yeah, so I really just want to take care of myself, get out of that little funk that the winter had me in.
hmm
Really prepare to have a good winter this year. But in regards to like this whole haircut thing, I finally got to be able to get into my barber, man. Again, I shouted him out on the episode that we're releasing today. But I got to shout out Steve again, man. Like I have not gotten to see him for several months because my guy's Hollywood. He's making a lot of money. He's seeing a lot of people. And I didn't want to see anybody else. I mean, I have one other dude. It's this old white man
hmm
that just knows how to do my hair. Not as
Uh-huh.
good as Steve, but he knows how to do my hair so that I'm at least presentable.
Uh-huh.
But getting the haircut from Steve, I feel phenomenal, bro.
So this is
You know what I
fire.
mean?
This is
Yeah.
fire. So listen, man, this is so fire because culturally, I would never have known that, right? So the cool thing that I'm going to say is that is what I know and relate to my whole life. Like the first guy that your mother takes you to get your hair cut usually is the guy that is going to cut your hair, you know what I mean, for a very, very long time until you make the decision if you don't like, you know what I mean, like what
Yeah.
he's doing with your head and everything like that. Because he's been cutting your hair for so long, sometimes he'll do what he wants. You understand what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, as you get older and you become grown, it's dope, man, that you actually that's the black thing. Like that's fly as hell. Like,
Bro,
cause
I
real
grew
talk.
up around the right people. Cause listen, man, look, I'll be honest with you. So my family, man, you wouldn't know it by the way that like I act and shit. But my family, they like I don't want to say they. Oh man, it's gonna sound crazy. I'm not like trying to like shit on my family here. That's for a different episode. But
Uh-huh.
or
Okay.
maybe it is this episode. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
we can dig into that.
Okay.
I don't want to say they're like trashy white because they're not, but like kind of like broke white. So you wouldn't
Okay.
think I'd be so superficial about myself and all that.
hmm
But yo, everybody before me, all the men get
hmm
bald spots and their hair recedes at like age 16, 17, 18.
Oh wow.
I've made it to 26 without that. So
Yeah. You
as you
got a
notice, I
good
don't
hair.
wear hats. I don't wear hats too much.
hmm
I always have to make sure my cut is good. So like I'm really strict about that because I did not want that bald spot early in life. I'm not trying to go bald yet. I'm trying to, I feel like I like this. I'll
Right.
go to Turkey and get a hair transplant if I have to. That's
That's where it's at. That's where it's
that's
at.
how far I'm willing to go with
I
that,
didn't
man. But
even know you
yeah.
knew about that. That's fire.
But
Oh
yeah,
shit.
man, I mean, like, I had, like, growing up, I had this, like, cute white girl doing my hair when I was, like, teenager, though, like,
hmm
and then she moved because I would go to Fantastic Sam's and I would either choose her or I would choose any Spanish barber that was there.
hmm
Not trying to be racist, I really trust, like, people with any color in their skin to do hair.
hmm
I hope that doesn't
It's
come off
nothing.
as fucking
Nah,
racist.
you're. I understand what you're saying. Like this, it's
Yeah.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay.
And then, switch that old guy was doing my hair for a little bit. And then he had me go. He like started giving me to his other barbers, and I was just like, nah, I'm not, okay with that. And then I let a dude learn to cut hair through my hair, which was it was a cool experience. We got to chop it up a lot, but ultimately I had to go to Steve, and I've been with Steve for like the last like 4 or 5 years, I believe, since COVID.
Got you. Yeah, I could give it to you like this. So first and foremost, rest in peace to Mr. Ed. Mr. Ed was the beast. He was the type of barber he knew how to do anything, right? Like, and I'm talking about through
Right.
the different phases of different type of fades, different type of, you know what I mean? Anything. He knew how to do it. But he had one rule. You could not play hip hop music inside his barbershop. He only played blues and jazz. It was really dope. But
Yo, I'm gonna say this, and I don't
mm-hmm,
mean to cut you off. I know
mm-hmm,
you got a great story to tell, but please
uh-huh,
hold on to this thought in case I forget.
uh-huh.
I am coming around heavily to blues music. Anyway, go
Okay.
ahead. Sorry.
Fire. Nothing wrong. I love it. Soulful as hell, right? It tells the story of life, you know what I mean, from a very deep point. But the
It's
cool thing
soothing.
is, yeah, very soothing. He did not approve of any type of hip hop music. He didn't even let you listen to like your AirPods or nothing like that in the barbershop with hip hop on it. He wanted you to literally consume the jazz and the blues that was
Good
being
music,
played.
like, because I'm not saying hip hop's bad music, but
hmm
like jazz and blues, that's music, you
Yes,
know what
and
I mean? So
yes.
that's
So
good, that's cool, that's
yeah, it
cool.
was really dope. So then as I get, you know what I mean, as that's not really my vibe, of course I'm super hip hop, whatever. So I find a barbershop that was ran by a guy named E-Jazz and Lukman, who I loved, who also had been cutting my hair simultaneously if Ed wasn't like available, you know what I mean, type of thing. They were like the people that my mom introduced me to. But they did play hip hop. They were closer to my age group. They understood my style. So as I'm evolving, they're evolving as barbers and shit too, to where as though I could just go sit down on a Saturday morning, still sleep and not say nothing, you know what I'm saying, and know that I'm going to be good, you know what I mean, when I come out of there. And that is, basically what you're explaining about, like once you get that connection with your barber, because what in history is told is like barbershops used to be for everything, man. You went there to get your prescription, you would go get your teeth pulled, you know
Really?
what I'm saying? Like, yes,
Really?
bro, yeah, check the history of barbershop. That's why, so the old school
Prescription.
red, blue, and white thing that you see spinning in old
Yeah.
barbershops, that's also like a medicinal thing that represents. You know what I'm saying? That barbers, there's also a part that they play because like the antiseptic, the stuff that burns and everything when they put it on you to clean, like that what you not anybody is supposed to be able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So all of that stuff is like it's rich ingrained in like the neighborhood of the person who, you know what I mean, was supposed to be doing that for you, and it's not too many other people, you know what I mean, you're gonna let touch you. So it's kind of cool, you know what I mean, that's already ingrained in you because that's just a part, that's culturally, that's just what we do. You're not letting nobody man, I'm sure you've seen thousands of memes online, you know what I'm saying, about when dudes go to the barbershop or, you know what I mean, and the barber do some crazy shit. People go crazy, you know what I mean, because
Yeah, oh yeah.
it's
Yeah,
ingrained, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
that's my chill, my safe spot. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get what I want and look how I want to when I leave here. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a really cool story.
Hell yeah, man. But yo,
That's,
blues music, man.
hmm.
Listen, I've been coming around to it a lot. So like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, like if anybody knows me, they know I love good like beats on music.
Hmm.
Like a motherfucker could be saying nothing on the beat, but if the beat is good, I will fucking jam
Uh-huh.
that song,
Uh-huh.
bro.
Right. Hmm.
So it's been an easy thing as I've gotten older that I'm starting to like older music. I'm starting to like blues. I'm starting to like jazz.
Hmm.
Obviously I like all the old white music because that's
Hmm.
what I grew up around.
Hmm.
My parents because that's all they would do. They were either watching TV or they had like fucking Hotel California blasting like
Okay.
through the house or
Uh-huh.
Alan Jackson and
Okay.
just country shit like well not country but like oldie shit like that.
Hmm.
But man, so it kind of like connected with me because you've seen Sinners, right?
Yes, of
Bro,
course.
what did you think about that movie?
That movie was excellent. That movie was
Bro, that
great.
movie, I'm not over exaggerating, is one
Uh-huh.
of the best movies that I have ever fucking watched, bro.
I love that. I love that. To another thing that I'm hearing from you that is amazing because for me, it's dope to now. This is something that I didn't even think about until I just heard your answer. Really, just heard you just say that's one of the greatest movies you ever see, and why my response was just as as flat as it was because I was not expecting it. But why? What I'm going to go into now is what it meant for me. Like in all truth, that was a cultural movie. So to actually hear again, you're giving these two crazy cultural references, which are Barber and now with Sinners. It's fucking amazing, right? To show that
Give
there's
me my
really,
black card. No,
you
just
know
I'm
what I
fucking.
mean. But really, the truth is that there's no divide. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like as it pertains to America and shit like that. I mean, of course, there's going to be cultural things, but my thing is that there is no divide. You know what I mean? There's rich, poor, middle, you know what I mean, or whatever. In other societies, they don't even have that. So the rich understand something
Right.
and the poor understand something and nobody else, you know what I mean? Like whatever. But at the end of the day, man, that was one of those movies, man, where it was like, so when we talk about music and we talk about blues, he's talking about the story about how blues is one of those things that can actually call the devil by how you're talking about the grips of whatever you're in, you know what I mean, has you so tight. And sometimes that is alluding to being controlled, you know what I mean, by a power greater than yourself that is negative, you know what I mean, that is associated with the devil. But also how the spirit has been calling music has been calling the spirit forever. You understand what I'm saying? Not just that. You know what I mean? And then the other, man, there's so much shit in there, man. Like I'm being for real. Then the shit about like the two brothers being from the country, right? Um, but going to the city You know what I mean? Doing what they needed to do in the city and then coming back to where they were from and realizing that the world is just the world. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
the world is just the world. The same shit is going on in bumfuck Egypt that's going on in Albany. You know what I mean? Like, real
yeah.
talk, man. Like, in the trenches
It's
anyway.
true.
You
It's just
understand what I'm saying?
it's
Like,
a
in the
little bit
trenches.
different. You know what I
Yeah, it
mean?
just, we might talk
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? We
Because
might
it's
talk
like
different.
so,
Yeah.
it's because it's a good point. Because like in America, like we are
Mm-hmm.
all controlled.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way we're controlled is through media, social media, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm not saying that like I'm brainwashed or anything, but you have these people out here, like
Mm-hmm.
no offense to any of these people out here, but you got people that, for example, are strictly Democrat. They don't care who
Mm-hmm.
it is that's
Mm-hmm.
running. It's they're going for that person, or strictly Republican.
Same with religious
Um,
people.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We got all that stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
the media really
Mm-hmm.
manipulates a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
You got people that are like pro white no matter what, pro
Mm-hmm.
black no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like black people that won't fucking associate with white people that won't
Mm-hmm.
associate with black people. Gay, straight, like that thing as well. And the
Mm-hmm.
media really picks apart on that and uses it to control a lot of people. Whereas in like a whole nother country, like they're not they don't hide it. They're just like, yeah, we're
Yeah.
tyrants, like you're gonna do what we say or you
Yeah.
die. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or like in another country they'll just be like heavy laws that like really kind of like barricade people into like their society. And they can't really do much, and you know what I mean. And we've always had that, because then you go back in
Mm-hmm.
the day when communism was like really fucking heavy, and nationalism and all this other shit was really heavy. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same shit. It's just in a little bit of a different tone or a little bit different layout. So yeah,
Absolutely.
my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely correct. So in all of that, man, it was just a great movie. It told so many different stories, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
that were
man.
just magnificent. And you
And
would
it's
think,
like not only like did they
mhm,
tell the good stories, it's like the fucking music really like
yes, you know
brought
what I
it
mean?
home,
Yes,
bro.
yes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it just showed a lot, man. It was a great movie. I recommend that anybody who has not seen it go see it. This is not a plug. We have
Yeah,
not gotten
man.
paid. It was great.
Because like literally I come out of movie theaters seeing good movies and I'm like, yo, that movie was fucking fantastic, but I've never come
Mhm.
out of a movie theater like, dang, this really is a movie that I feel like is in my top 5 of all time.
Mhm.
Like it's one
And then
of
Michael B. Jordan did his thing. Like he did
bro
his thing.
again.
Yes.
Bro, it's like he's getting better with fucking age, man.
Mhm.
Like it's insane. You see a lot of these actors, they do the same shit their whole career.
Yeah.
Or they do shit, but they somewhat evolve a little bit. But like Michael B. Jordan, man, and he was good, but like now he's just fucking phenomenal to be able to play two
Smoke
characters
and
in one
stack.
movie that are like always on the screen too.
Yeah.
Um, man, but yeah, man, like that movie, like I feel like when I got out, I was like, yo, this felt like a musical in the way that I would like it done. Because you know
Mhm.
how musicals are fucking corny,
Yeah.
like
Mhm. Mhm.
it could
Yeah.
really like turn you off of a movie. But like there was
Mhm.
a lot of music, a lot of singing in the movie. I like that. Like the juke joint itself, like the whole
Yeah.
scene where everyone's enjoying themselves and having
Mhm.
a fucking blast. That was fucking awesome.
Mhm.
The vampires coming in, like I love how the trailer really was like, this whole movie's just gonna be fucking vampires,
Mhm.
fucking killing everybody. But it really wasn't that.
No, it
Like they
wasn't.
had a really long build up before a vampire even fucking came
Yeah.
into the movie.
Yeah.
There was just so much. It was good. I don't feel like nothing was forced. I didn't feel like at one moment I mean I think maybe at the end when the girl was with the baby and he was like seeing her or whatever, that's the
Yeah.
only scene where I was just like but
Okay.
like everything else, man, was just it was
Yeah, I liked it.
chef's kiss, bro. Chef's
Yeah.
kiss.
Without a question. Without a question, man. I don't have anything else to say on that. I loved it. You know what I mean? I'm waiting
Yeah.
to own it. You know what I mean? I'm
But the
literally
but the
it
fucking
will
yeah,
be
the
on that.
music though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what got us into that conversation.
Yeah,
The
the
music
music,
on
it was
that.
just amazing. It was
Oh
just
my
amazing. It
god.
was
I
it
was
was
just sitting there just with a smile, a smirk on my face,
yeah.
catching myself just like smiling like a dumbass, just fucking loving
Yes.
everything that was
It
going
was,
on.
listen, it was one of those things, man, that you're gonna remember where you were. You're gonna remember, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you're gonna the same thing, you're gonna remember how you saw it. That's why I think people saw it multiple times and different things like
Yeah, I've
that.
seen it in the
You
theaters and I've seen
yeah,
it bootleg
you
already.
know what I mean? So like, you know what I mean? Because it's one of those, you know what I mean? And when it
Yeah.
when it when it does that, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna have the impact that it does have on the whole culture and the whole society. And it's great that everybody is able to have a takeaway, you know what I mean, that is positive from it. Fucking amazing. Yes,
it
but
was
go
a fucking
search
mess.
music, man. Go search blues music, search grunge music. You know what I mean, and see the evolution and what's the difference in the two. You know what I
So
mean?
who are your like three artists? Like if someone was to get into the blues, who are the three artists or like I don't know, songs or whatever that you think would, seal the deal for them to be in?
Well, I would tell people to like literally like research, right? Like, so what are you going to listen for? Like,
Right.
are you going to listen for sound?
I
Are you
like
going to
that.
listen for
I like
story?
that.
Are you going to, you know what I mean? Are you
I
going to
like
listen
that,
for
Karen.
substance?
Because I
Like,
could just
right?
go to my fucking AI and be like, "Yo, generate me like
Yes,
songs
you
with
know what I
beats
mean?
and
Like
shit."
literally, you want to go, you want to
Yeah,
pick, you know what I mean? Like the things that are actually like what you listen to now, why you listen to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's going to take you down because listen, there's going to be people, because truthfully, when you listen to music, I listen to music, and I'm not going to say you. So let's say when I listen to music, I listen to for a feeling, like
yeah.
not a feeling of understanding, a feeling of nostalgia.
It's a good
Uh,
point.
yes,
It's a very good point.
I
Because
listen
like
for a lot of it.
if I'm happy listening to music, I
Yes.
want like, I
Mm-hmm.
want that feeling. If I'm sad, I either want to pull myself out of it with a song or I want to
Yes.
like,
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel that sadness a little bit. So I definitely I get
Yeah,
what you're saying with
but it,
that.
it totally really
Yeah,
it totally depends, like, you know what I mean, on what you're going to want to feel. You know what I mean? Because that's
right.
literally what it's going to
What
be.
blues is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like because it's blues
Yeah.
is a feeling. It's not like and that's why like jazz, which is, like the you know what I mean, the sister, the brother, the cousin, right, of blues, right? No, literally, that's why it's
I
so
hear you.
much, you know what I mean? Like there's so you gotta
Yeah.
have like some sort of feel for it. So now to answer your
Right.
question, like let's just do it simply. Let's say somebody like BB King, one of the
Okay.
oldest living, you know what I mean, like legends, not anymore, you know what I mean? Rest in peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? I would say somebody like Muddy Waters. Okay.
Right.
Literally, like Muddy Waters. I would go to, then I would
Okay.
spin off and go to like Miles Davis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on the, you know what I mean?
I'll
You know what I
absolutely
mean?
I'm gonna
Like
look these guys
literally,
up
yeah,
in a
literally, like
fucking
spin
backseat bet.
off. You know what I mean? But that's the top three that I would have. And Miles
Right.
Davis, to be totally honest, is jazz. Okay,
Yeah.
so but I want you to like kind of, BB King, Muddy Waters, right, and a little
Yeah.
bit of Miles
Because
Davis.
I just like, man, like I appreciate music in all forms. I just feel like music today ain't it for me. Like it's not doing it no more. You know what I
but
mean? Like,
but
so I'm
why?
like starting to like I'm
But
starting to
why?
elevate backwards because
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening because like as I get older, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if it's because my brain has developed to a point where I can like because I can admit like as a kid, as a teenager, as a young adult, I loved shit if it was just catchy, if it was like the
Okay.
vibe that was going on. But
Absolutely.
now I'm going towards shit that's a little bit more deep, a little bit, shit that makes more sense,
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like today, man. It's like first off, and I'm not a big country music listener, but like I'll start there. Country music ain't the fucking same. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's all the same corny bullshit. You get some real bops here and there. But rock and roll obviously ain't the fucking same.
Mm-hmm.
Rap clearly ain't the same. I mean, you still, you still got guys fucking releasing bangers and shit,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really not like how it was. We used to
Mm-hmm.
get like banger after banger, banger album after banger album, but now it's
Yeah.
kind of like I feel like most albums that are dropping are like, like what the fuck is going on with this shit? And just I don't know, like I love fucking, earlier on rap. I like earlier on hip hop. I
Yeah.
like earlier on country. I'm starting to really gravitate that way because it's just not doing it for me today, man.
I like that. So listen, you starting to sound like the old dude in the room and shit like that. That's
Am
funny.
I making this evolution,
It's
man? God
crazy.
damn, I'm getting older.
So listen, what's gonna happen for you, and I probably can predict this for you because that's just kind of how music is. You're gonna, like you said, because that's what it is. That's how early childhood development happens. It's about catchy. It's about gimmick. It's about commercialism. It's about repetitiveness. It's about redundancy. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
old.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's what early childhood development is. That's how you
Right.
get routine and get used to routine and things like that. And it's exactly like you said. Then you start going against traffic. You know what I mean? At that point, you're going with traffic. Then you start going
Yeah.
against traffic. You know what I mean?
It's a good point. Good point.
Literally to figure
Yeah.
out, why does traffic go that way? Why the hell are you sending me this way for something that I actually don't really like. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
then after you realize that it's okay to be like, okay, I just want to bop when I want to bop, but that's just not my shit. You understand?
Right.
It's not my shit no more. You know what I mean? And now here's the thing. I know every bop that is out right now. You can't get past me because music it lives and breathes just like how the movie showed in Sinners. Literally,
Yeah.
it lives and breathes in me until I die. So even the new music, I'm going to connect at some point because I know what you're trying to convey. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I literally understand what you're trying to convey. But then there's going to be the shit that I'm just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like it'll come past. You know what I mean? I'll level out to the frequency. You know what I mean? To try to, you know what I mean? To catch it, and then it's like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be on that frequency. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's not the frequency supposed to be on at all. So I will just
Yeah.
totally bypass it. You know what I mean? But there isn't anything that you know what I mean? I don't check out. You know what I mean? But it's important to stay grounded because what music is going to do for me and what it does for me now, it's a timestamp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like when I know what I was just like how Sinners, you know what I mean? How you said when things become your top, it's a timestamp thing too. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
That it literally is. When things are in your top, you can correlate it to a time, a feeling, a
Bro,
moment.
I mean, it's
Hmm.
like so Star Wars, and this is like a completely different
But it's
fucking
okay.
path that we're about to go on.
But
But
it's okay.
Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
third movie,
I
where
had to watch that on the fourth, FYI. But go
yeah,
ahead. Yes,
yeah.
just
So
Revenge
did
of the
so
Sith.
so did I, man.
Yeah,
I had to. It's
that's
like it's fucking it's culture, bro.
I gotta
So
show
like
you.
that movie, I can confidently say is like the best movie
Uh huh.
of all time. Like for me,
Uh
like
huh.
it's my favorite movie
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
I think it goes that Shawshank Redemption, and I think Sinners breaks into that top three. Maybe
Okay.
recency bias. Maybe I got to let a little bit of time go by. But for right now, I think I'm comfortable with that.
Uh huh.
But Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, man. Like
I
I
was
remember the first time I saw it.
I was at home chilling. I had to take a picture. Word up.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
Me and wifey, because it's just been raining so fucking much. Me and wifey were just laid up watching Star Wars. I was like, fuck it, it's a holiday, man. I don't care. It's one of my holidays.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, man, like I remember the first time I ever watched that movie. It came out in theaters. I believe it was 2005. I want to say.
Mhm.
And I was like 7, and I was like, fuck it. Everyone's
Mhm.
bugging about this movie. I dead ass want to go see it.
Mhm.
I saw it. I didn't know what a single thing meant, but I thought it was one of the coolest things I had
Mhm.
ever watched.
Mhm.
But I've watched it so much since then that I always get something new from it every
Mhm.
fucking time.
Mhm.
Whether it's just the classical good versus evil, the classical how far you're willing to go for, your wife and kids,
Mhm.
to like how one person can easily be manipulating the whole crowd and you
Mhm.
not really see it, to how
Mhm.
the Jedi Council could be seen as corrupt. Like you can actually see that point of view the more,
Mhm.
times that you actually watch it, master versus or teacher versus student, with the whole Obi-Wan and shit. Like you
Mhm.
can pull so much from that movie. You just keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, stubbornness, like you just
Mhm.
keep going.
Mhm.
And just like that, like I remember where I was the first time. I remember several times watching. Like, there's been times I'll cry watching that movie if I'm
Mhm.
fucking high enough.
Uh
But
huh. Yeah. Go.
and if anyone likes that movie as much as I do, I definitely recommend the Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney series because it draws from the emotion
Yes.
of that movie and makes it a little bit more emotional, which I fuck with. Like
Mhm.
they dug deep with that.
Yes.
And then Shawshank Redemption, like the first time I watched it, I remember being in school, and how immature motherfuckers are when we're all young. Like they
Yeah.
were not paying attention to the movie because it was an old movie, whatever. I remember just being locked in, just me and Teach, like we were just fucking,
Yeah.
we were locked the fuck
Yeah.
in, and I just remember, bro, like I don't know, it's just like a nice, cool classical movie. I fuck with it.
So that's fire that so one of my favorite movies was spawned for me watching it in school as well. And I believe the actor, yes, Morgan Freeman is in Glory too. And that
Yeah,
was a school movie that I had to watch that when I watched it, you know what I mean, it's about the Civil War. Of course everything is about, you know what I mean, whatever
yeah,
generation you're in when they're being
yeah, yeah,
shown these
yeah.
movies, it's about the month, it's about whatever the curriculum, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it was so dope. You know what I mean? To like, holy shit, there's so many different stories within this story that they just want me to know. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? Like what the
Yeah.
school wants me to know. And I'm like, hold on, this is fucking amazing. You know what I mean? And I kind of,
Yeah.
it became one of my favorite movies. But speaking about Revenge of the Sith, one of the biggest things about that movie, I think, that is the most overarching thing is the yin and the yang of power. You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's purely about what power is. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And as you are stepping into it, you know what I mean? As you have it,
Yes.
as you're learning to master, it's all about power and what you do with power.
Hell
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's such a fucking, and everything else that you said too, but power, you know what I mean, is the
It had one
crux.
of the most
Hmm.
it had one of the most built up best fight scenes ever.
Yeah,
Like that
man.
Obi-Wan Anakin fight,
Yes.
all the emotion behind it,
Yeah, hell
everything like
yeah.
that shit was
Hell yeah.
fucking oh my god, don't get me
Hmm.
going, Ken.
Hmm.
Turn this into a Star Wars episode. But like what are kind of just to break away from all that. That was
Hmm.
good. We
Hmm.
hadn't got we are 30 minutes in, y'all, and that none of that was part of the script.
Not at all.
So yeah, man. Well, what you got like going on in life? Like, what is the one thing you're really striving for right now?
The one thing I am really striving for right now is a better relationship with my family.
Okay,
Yep. The one thing
that's
I'm trying.
good.
Yep.
This might get deep. I'm not like trigger warning, y'all, or not a
Yeah.
trigger warning. But this might get good because my viewpoint on family, I feel like is gonna really differentiate from you.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah,
Well, I
go ahead.
believe family is what you make it, but me, I'm talking about immediate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Specifically,
Of course, of course.
my children. You know what I mean? I want to have better
Yeah,
relationships with them as they're getting older. You know what I mean? They're moving. My daughter, they're both grown now. My son turned 18 yesterday. You know what I mean?
that must be fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah, it's very crazy, man. But what I want to do more than anything, man, is kind of prepare them for this part of their lives. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm in a position now to be able to do so. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to be able to, literally, man, do some shit that maybe I wasn't taught. You know what I mean? That I learned a little bit later on too. That I'm still, you know what I mean, working with now. As well as, man, kind of, leave them some stuff. You know what I mean? There's some family stuff that I learned, you know what I mean, that I have to tell, and or it dies with me, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it's just that kind of thing. As far as the rest of life goes, man, it's life. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like you said,
Yeah.
like we were saying a bit earlier, or how you said a little bit earlier, you make like a daily list. You know what I mean? I'm checking off my list. You know what I mean? Some of that is, not content. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's like,
Right. Right.
at the end of the day, shit, man, we just going. But that's something that I really, really want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah, I really want to do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I was to, well, to piggyback off of, the whole family thing,
Hmm.
you clarified it up for me, like immediate family. I've been
Hmm.
really trying to strengthen, my relationship with my fiance, my
Hmm.
son, daughter,
Hmm.
um, you know, my sister who, I mean, well, cause like, the thing with my family is, my mom passed away. My father, because of that happening, hasn't been as, he just hasn't been himself, and like it makes
Hmm.
sense, because they were together for like 30 plus years. So he's
Hmm.
kind of like off on like his own, just doing his own thing really. And then past that, like the family on my dad's side, they're ass.
Hmm.
Family on my mom's side, they're mostly ass.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like I never really had that big sense of family because the
Right.
family was always so broken. Like
Hmm.
on my dad's side, like they all just argued and hated each other, and like it was just always terrible.
Okay.
So I think like one of the big things I'm trying to do, and it'll tie into everything, is I'm really just trying to establish this empire, man, the Saxby Empire, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
I want to like change, how family is looked at, in my generational tree. I want to change how parenting looks in my generational tree. I
Fucking
mean,
right.
obviously, I absolutely am grateful for the parenting that I had received because it turned me into a beast of a human being. But obviously, there's things that you observe that could be a little bit better. Could have been done a little bit differently. But it's just all that. I'm trying to build this empire not only like financially. Obviously, this podcast. I'm sick as fuck for this podcast.
Hmm.
But that as well, man. Just building that fucking empire, changing the way like shit is really done. I want to do fucking so much, and I think
Mhm.
that's kind of been also my weakness.
Mhm.
As of late, I'm trying to do so much all in one day, every single fucking day. But at the end of the day, we getting it done, man. We are absolutely getting it done.
Mhm.
So
and
I
that's and
fucking
that's it, man. Like we get the same 24 hours. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
you know what I mean. What I do with mine and what other people do with theirs, that's on them. You know what I mean? We trying to maximize over here, man, and that's something that is known.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We are literally trying to maximize on these 24 hours. There isn't anybody who know me in my current state. You know what I mean? Because we change. You know what I mean? Literally, there's nobody who
Yeah.
doesn't know me, man. For the past 10 years, you understand that don't know that I am getting to this paper. You understand what I'm saying? Like any
Bro,
way
I
that
mean, it's like it goes all the way back to the fucking first day we met, bro. You were a go getter from day one, bro.
you hear
I
me,
don't know.
bro.
I'll go
Hmm.
ahead and say it, bro. I don't know, like when
Uh-huh.
where we worked,
Hmm. Hmm.
and this might dig into a little bit of my past as
Hmm.
well. Is like going into where we worked, where you currently worked. We're not
Hmm.
gonna like
Hmm.
mention the name,
Hmm.
obviously, because
Hmm.
no
Hmm.
trouble.
Hmm.
Hands up, hands up.
Hmm.
But where going into that, I had never really been too confident of a person,
Hmm.
right? I was not confident. Like I was fake confident, if that makes sense. Like I always on the
Hmm.
outside of my shell, I was always this confident, outgoing person, but on the inside, I was not at all.
Hmm.
I always wanted to be by myself, to myself.
Hmm. Hmm.
I guess afraid of going outside, doing
Hmm.
too much shit.
Hmm.
So I always stayed to myself mostly. But like that job, like really built this different confidence in me. It was almost like cockiness. It was like a fucking like, yeah, man, I'm that
Hmm.
motherfucker,
Hmm.
because like
Hmm.
how I had it at that job. Like
Hmm.
everyone
Hmm.
fucking loved me. Like I
Hmm.
got away with so much shit just because of who I fucking was.
Hmm.
It was insane. I should have been fired from that job several fucking times. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh wow.
But like when I met you, bro, it was like I was going from being a trainer to being a supervisor,
Hmm.
and I got my first team, and they gave me like four of you motherfuckers.
Hmm.
And you were the first one that I had met.
Hmm.
You was just sitting there. He was like, "I'm ready to go, boss. Like I'm ready to
Hmm.
let's
Hmm.
get it. Let's hit the ground running." I was
Uh-huh.
like, no offense. I was like, this old motherfucker is really like locked in and trusted me like that right
Uh-huh.
now, knowing I'm young as shit. Cause I was like, what, 21, 22,
Uh-huh. Yep.
22 at the
Yep.
time. I was like, yo, he's
But see,
like,
you don't even remember the conversation that well. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you why I trusted you.
no, I'm just saying my initial thoughts.
Can I tell you why
So,
I trusted you? Hold on, hold your
yeah,
thought.
go ahead,
Let
go
me
ahead, go
just
ahead.
tell you why I trusted you, young man. Check this out.
Young man.
Let me tell you why I trusted you. You said,
Yeah,
"Listen, bro. When you first pulled me over to your cubicle, you was like, yo, you was like, I know about this, but you're older, and there's some things I don't know about that I might ask you about. Do you mind if I ask you? Do you remember that shit, bro?
yeah.
Do you
Well,
remember
because
that?
I remember now you're starting to clear up my memory a little bit because I pulled everyone for a one-on-one because like if there was one thing that I knew from training and like basically all the jobs I've ever had in my life,
Uh-huh.
one-on-ones are so fucking important.
Uh-huh.
So I made sure I pulled everyone in, but I remember that. I
Yep.
remember
You was
that.
like, yo, man, cause you got it. He was like, you said some shit like, yo, you got it. But you were like, damn, I say I'm talking in third person. you
Yeah,
was, you
yeah,
was like, no, you was like, you got it. And I promise you, I can show you, you know what I mean? Cause I know you trying to make money. I can show you how to do this. But there's some things, cause I think you, not to like kind of get into it, but
yeah,
you had just had your first kid. So, you know what I
yeah.
mean? You was like, yo, there's some things I might ask you that don't have shit to do with work. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh, I like this young
Bro,
motherfucker
like
right here.
it's like I
Like,
said, I picked up on that vibe as soon as
yeah, I
you were
was like,
like,
yo, I like this young motherfucker. I said, all right, bet. And
yeah,
there is nobody who I will ever talk about like you understand what I'm saying, bro?
yeah, yeah,
Because that
yeah,
conversation showed me, helped me develop my leadership style. Do you understand
right,
what I'm saying? Like I'm being
yeah,
honest. That helped me develop my leadership style to, you know what I mean, kind of be empathetic, you know what I mean, and
yeah,
open and literally meet people where they are. You understand what I'm saying? And see what I see, not what we want to project for them as a company, and you know what I mean, and we deal with metrics and shit.
Yeah.
So not none of that shit, but what do I see? You know what I mean? So, but go ahead. Sorry, bro. I know I took that, but go ahead.
No, you did.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, no, I mean,
mm-hmm,
because it's exactly how that was. Like I knew because you said like our first before we had that one-on-one, we had
mm-hmm,
that where like I think
mm-hmm,
Trev was like
mm-hmm,
introducing me to you,
mm-hmm,
and then your first words was like, "Let's go get it, man. Let's
mm-hmm,
make some money and shit." I'm like, "Yo, a lot of people that are that age,
mm-hmm,
because I'm not saying you was old as fuck, but
mm-hmm.
like, like people that are that age, a lot of people are like stuck in their ways. They're ready to
Relaxed.
like toss over, yeah, like relax, like turn over, like toss over in
Uh-huh,
bed."
uh-huh.
And I was like, "Yo, this motherfucker not only is someone that's older than me, but also good at this shit, trusting me and actually open to learning from me. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
dead ass trusting me. He's ready
Yeah.
like to go get it." Like that gave me. I'm not gonna lie, that gave me the confidence that I needed because I
Because we
had went
won.
through.
We
I
literally
went through
won
a real
too.
bro. I went through a real journey before that because
Uh-huh.
like at towards the end of me being a trainer, bro, they tested me more than they fucking tested anyone else in that place, bro.
Uh-huh.
They really tried me, bro. They
Okay.
really. It was crazy. I grabbed that shit by the fucking horns and I really fucking marched ahead. Ended up, supervisor. We fucking, you know, we were the late shift. We was the graveyard shift, putting up some fucking
Crushed it.
numbers.
Crushed it. Crushed it.
And we had we had a
Yeah.
crackhead on our team.
Yes. I remember you like, yo, we're gonna have to cut this, but I remember I remember you like, yo, bro, this fucking she was driving you crazy. I remember that shit, bro. I'm just like, all right, man, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna get it. Don't worry. Just I'm gonna lock in. I got you. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And I remember that shit. So that shit like that, I'm trying to tell you, bro, that shit helped me. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because I realized like how the fuck do I say it? Like I just realized like you have to be in two places at one time sometimes, right?
yeah,
And sometimes, right? Like you gotta kind of lean on somebody in a
right,
way so that you can, you know what I mean? Like just steer the drink and steer the ship.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And just know that you can have somebody like, nah, just get busy. You know what I mean? I already know you good, but listen, I'm dealing with this over here. So if you need me, you understand what I'm saying? Like this is what I'm doing. And that shit was, you don't even know, man, because you don't even know the same way I felt trusted. You understand what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
the way that
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I felt trusted too. And I also, so in that competitive nature that you're speaking about is some of the shit that comes out when we're talking and we're doing our sports pod. I developed some sort of competitive nature when I was really young anyway, that always let me believe that once I got in the arena and learned whatever it was, once I had any part of the skill set, I already know I could develop the rest to
yeah,
become better than other people because practice, training, you know what I mean? Like that shit is real, you know what I mean? And I know that from like my
yeah, bro.
sports and my athletic life, you know what I mean?
And
So,
that's the thing in life in general. You really
mhm,
got to take those things that you learn over time, and
apply
you
it.
really got to lock in with them, and
Mm-hmm,
learn those lessons, learn them
mm-hmm,
once, and keep fucking moving. But
mm-hmm,
speaking of that, I
mm-hmm,
think it's a good fucking segue.
mm-hmm.
How, and this is always something I've been interested in. Never really asked too much about it. How did you grow up? Like, what was
That's
that like?
dope. So it was fire. I'm gonna be honest with you. For some people, it would, you know what I mean? Like in classification of shit, it would be
Yeah,
wrong, but it was amazing, right? Rest in peace to my mother. It's funny, man. Me and my brother were just, it's a lot of shit that just happened in a couple days, but yeah, rest in peace to my
yeah,
mother. So listen, I'm originally from Essex County, New Jersey, right? Um, what I can say is my early childhood, I remember nothing but what some people would consider danger was fun for me, right? We had a lot of fun.
yeah,
So in Essex County, New Jersey, my house, I was born at Orange Memorial Hospital. And then like my family, my grandparents and most of my family lived in Orange, New Jersey. My mom lived in Newark and East Orange. So when I was born, she had me born with her family in Orange, New Jersey. And then when I was taken out of the hospital, we was back in Newark. From there, I remember my earliest childhood memory is like East Orange, New Jersey, right? So we're in East Orange. My grandparents
right,
moved from Orange to East Orange. From there, this is where sports, everything is fucking amazing for me. Some of my earliest fun memories I can say is me and my brother catching the PATH train. I know if you've been to Manhattan, anybody who's been in Manhattan, some of my
Yeah.
earliest memories, me and my little brother being like 11 years old. I'm like 11 or 12 years old. My brother is like 2 years younger than me, 2 or 3 years younger than me, and we on
Right.
the
Right. Right.
PATH train together by ourselves, going to, you know what I mean, going over to Manhattan and going to Chinatown and buying fireworks and shit like that, and jumping back on the train and going back to Jersey, like very, very fucking young. You know what I mean? But in saying all of this, this obviously tells you there was not a lot of guidance or a lot of overhead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As it pertains to like my household at a particular point in time. So my mom, she had me very young. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
remember, you know what I mean? Like I got other shit. You know what I mean? With me remembering her. You know what I mean? Like very, very young. You know what I mean? Like having
Yeah.
parties and shit like that, and me going, you know what I mean, to other people's house and stuff. Well, my grandmom's house more than anybody. She would only
Right.
send me with my grandma. But anyway, so from there, man, we moved to Pennsylvania. My mom, a fucking amazing woman, wanted to chart a different path. You know what I mean? She didn't want to
Okay.
be in Jersey no more. Like a lot of, like my family, like I said, we're all through Essex County, and in every part of that, she could kind of do whatever she want, and a lot
Yeah.
of doing what she want wasn't good. By this time, she has 3 boys. You know what I mean? She wants to
Right.
do something different. She ends up moving to Pennsylvania. We moved to the home of the Little League World Series, Williamsport, PA. We're out there. I had already, me and my brother had already won, you know, city all stars for baseball and shit like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We're fucking cooking. You know what I mean? Like we are athletes without even knowing that we're athletes, just from,
Hell
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like just being
Hell
outside.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally. So we're fucking winning trophies and all this shit, playing baseball. We start playing football, and you know what I mean, trying to get our own equipment. So listen, I'll tell you a really funny story. So we didn't have no money. Me and my brother already made the East Orange Rams football team, right? We
Yeah.
already made the football team. We like, shit, we got to get some equipment. And like I said, there's really a lot of guidance at this time. My grandma, we're staying at my grandma's house and shit. She's older. My grandpa working. You know what I mean? He's fucking taking care of me and my brothers and my uncles and shit like that. So I'm not gonna trouble him with this shit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have like coaches and shit let them know that we're like good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're
Right.
just gonna
Right.
do everything. And this is before like the kids now that we see fucking at the mall with the cans where they're trying to get equipment for sports and shit like that. You couldn't do that shit when I was young. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Like they didn't do that. We didn't have booster meetings and shit. I'm from the city, man. Like they didn't do that kind of shit. So you had to pay the money for the uniform and the equipment, or you did not play. So at the end of the
Yep.
day, but if you had the equipment, you could play, right? And they would just pay the little fee for us. And me and my brother knew how to bag groceries and shit, so we'll make our own little money to pay the fee, but we can't get the equipment money too. So we go
Yeah.
to like a Salvation Army in East Orange, New Jersey on Main Street. It's probably still there. We go to the Salvation Army. We like, yo, we looking for some equipment. We want to play football, right? And it was like, oh,
Yeah.
y'all came at the perfect time. We go down to the basement, and there's this equipment there. And we like, holy shit, we see the knee pad, we see the thigh pads, we see the, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
right next to it, like, there's like skates and shit like that. We was like, yo, these fucking shoulder pads are little, bro. Like, are these quarterback shoulder pads? Like, I don't know if I'm going to play, you know what I mean? I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
play, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying to figure this shit out. We get this equipment home, right? And then go show up to the practice. We got on fucking hockey equipment to play football. It was fucking amazing. So that's a great earlyhood childhood memory that I'll
Yeah.
share.
That's hilarious.
Listen, man, it was hilarious as shit. We show up to play like, you know, it wasn't like, I don't, at this point, I can be honest with you and try to channel every feeling that I have, and can't say that that even felt bad. I felt mad that I couldn't play and we had the wrong shit, but that
Yeah.
didn't feel bad to me. Me and my brother scavenging hunting, you know what I mean? And actually bumping into some equipment that we could use to play football, you know what I mean? That's some early childhood memories. But then we get to Pennsylvania now. Let me kind of speed it up. We get to PA. I'm about 13 and shit like that. My mom, again, rest in peace, she ends up going to college. She does everything, you know, polar opposite of what was in New Jersey. She's in college, working 2 jobs. She's doing all this stuff. She ends up
Right. Right.
graduating with a master's from in HBCU. You know what I mean? Does all of this like human service work. She's working in like rehabs, sheltering kids, putting kids in foster homes, doing every kind of thing that she
Yeah.
can to like help people. It was fucking amazing. God
Yeah.
rest her soul. She is one of them ones. And at the same time, I'm figuring out sports, but I also love a lot of the shit that we was doing in Jersey. So I'm getting in trouble. I'm wild. I'm in this country ass town. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. I'm tall. I'm black. I'm
You
good
can
and
leave
bad.
the
Yeah.
hood, but the hood ain't gonna leave
Nah, that
you.
shit ain't leaving me, man. I'm getting in all kind of trouble and shit up there. Good story though. I end up playing ball with some great guys. Most notable guy, man. And shout out Phil Hickey, man. 7-footer, went to Notre Dame. One of the creators of the highly sold Angry Birds. We played at Wellsboro High School, man, together. Made it to states, didn't win. Really good group of guys. Ryan Callahan, coached Keith Tomes, Ryan Tomes' son. I remember all you guys, man. I miss y'all dudes. I always go check for y'all to see how everybody doing. But had great childhood memories, man.
Right.
From New Jersey to Pennsylvania. Then we'll
That's
get
fire.
into the men memories, some other episode.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. I mean, I think like I relate to you. I think on the guidance part. I mean, cause like my childhood was a little weird.
Hmm.
So I was adopted at like a very like early age. Like I believe it was 9 months, 1 year.
Okay.
Um, my my biological mom was a crackhead. My biological dad was just a lazy piece of shit. But like my parents, my aunt and uncle, who I call mom and dad, they adopted me. They got me in there, but it was just like, when you're adopted, you always get this feeling like you're not. It's How do I even explain this? It's like you live your life like up until obviously you do your own shit
Uh-huh.
of just you like you're not like theirs, you're not like prioritized because like I always had a sister.
Okay.
That's a whole different like story, but
Hmm.
you always get that feeling growing up, and it's just like I always craved some sort of attention and shit. But like my parents were broke because they were both disabled. So
Hmm.
well, my dad, he worked I think up until I was around like a teenager, and then he had to go, for another neck back surgery, which like he got
Hmm.
that one where it's like a fusion where you fucking can't really fucking do shit after
Hmm.
that, like in regards to moving your neck. So yeah, I was fucking broke for a while. They were kind of just letting me do my thing. Like I had a roof over my head, but they like that's why I said like I was like kind of a loner because like
Hmm.
I was always just by myself in my room, either
Hmm.
playing video games or like I used to write in notebooks a lot, like ideas and fucking plans. Like I was fucking wild. I had all the fucking WWE wrestlers. I was fucking doing shit with that. NASCAR cars. Like I had, like I was always to myself, and I think that's why maybe I feel like I lacked the attention when I was a kid. But yeah, no guidance. I don't. Again, I don't want to shit on them because like obviously love them, saved my life.
Hmm.
They did. Like my dad was really strict on me. Like beat my ass when he needed to. Thank you, dad, for that. My mom was like really nice. But it was never like I had to build this shit on my own, like, because not only were we broke, but like also the guidance. Like, I felt like they didn't know really how to guide me. So they were kind of letting me do my thing, but also telling me when I'm being a fucking asshole or telling me when I'm, doing
Hmm.
the wrong shit. Like, I was like 15 and my dad caught me smoking weed and fucking called the cops on me. That shit was,
Oh
yo,
wow.
that,
Oh
have I
wow.
ever told you that story,
Nah,
bro?
that's crazy.
So fucking me, I had just started smoking weed. I thought it was one of the fucking craziest things because, like, when I was a kid, you get high around that age, you get fucking blasted, brother. Like,
Mhm.
it's like you're in a whole fucking
Yeah.
different universe.
Yeah, I've been there.
So my friend, like, normally, like, I would spend the night at my friend's house, and we would have the ability to go outside, smoke, do what be able to get away with it. But at my dad's house, it was a little bit harder because he wouldn't let us go out after a certain time. He wouldn't let us, really do shit. He would always like kind of like walk around and just to see what we were up to, kind of thing. And we decided we were gonna smoke in my room, bro. With we had the window wide open.
Oh,
It was a summer like night.
you
We had the
violating,
window wide
bro.
open, bro.
You were
So we
violating.
thought. Yeah, bro, we were gonna fucking smoke, and we did. We were up next to the window smoking and everything. We got away with it at first. There was no smell, no nothing. My high ass, I think it was me. I don't know if it was him. I don't know if it was me. One of our high asses had went into the fridge and accidentally left the door just a little bit open so that it, you know how like fridges make
Yeah,
noises
yeah,
and
yeah,
start
yeah,
breaking down a little bit
yeah,
after they're
yeah.
open for a
Like
while.
bang, bang, bang.
So my dumbass decides to. So my friend is knocked. He's weed coma. He's fucking cooked. I was like, I kind of want to smoke again. Like we still have a little bit of the blunt left. I went up. So the window, when we smoked, the screen was open.
Yeah,
This time when I smoked, the screen was closed, but the window was open.
yeah.
I went. I smoked. I must
Shit's
have been
crazy.
high because I don't think I got all the smoke out the window. And I just went. I went back to playing my game. And then my dad, all of a sudden, bro, the door fucking swings open, bro, and he's like, "What the fuck is that I smell?" And I was like, "I'm high, bro. I am high as hell. Like it's on my face. Like I can't hide it." But I'm like, "What do you mean, Dad?" He's like, "I smell that weed. I smell that weed." I was like, "No, man, that must be a skunk outside." And I dead ass defended there being a skunk outside as much as I fucking could, and then my dad, he saw right there. He even went around the house. He was like, "It don't smell out here. It don't smell out here." And then eventually I just had to fucking admit it. So he kicked my friend out.
Mhm.
My friend, it's like fucking 1 a.m. My friend's fucking walking home. He's like, my mom was on like some like little vacation with her sister, so he like called her. He was like, guess what our son did, rah, 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 rah. And then my mom was even like, why would you do that, like type shit. And then
Mhm.
he just called the cops. He's like, I'm gonna teach you a lesson. So he called the fucking cops, bro.
What did they say?
But yeah, my dad was a little crazy, but they didn't come, which was fucking hilarious. They
Thank you.
did not come
Whew.
at all. They weren't like whatever. So but then he called them and said not to come, like trying to make it like like they were about to come. And he
Yeah.
was just like, I was at this point, like I said, I was 15, 16. I was working at fucking Rite Aid. I was already making my money. So he couldn't take my game system away from me. He couldn't take my phone away from me because I had paid for those things.
Uh-huh.
But he was like, you ain't going outside for the rest of the summer. And don't even bother asking for nothing, like no money, nothing, whatever. And I was like, all right, well, whatever, man. I guess that's when I started feeling older because I was like, damn, he can't really like punish me as much as he fucking wants to right now.
Mhm.
So that's why he called the cops, because he's probably sitting there like, damn,
Mhm.
I can't take his game, can't
Yep.
take his phone.
Starting to create
So
your
yeah,
own
man.
independence.
Yeah, my dad was fucking he was pretty decently strict. Like he was a strict motherfucker. But like I didn't know about car insurance. Like when I got a car, I didn't
Okay.
know about like none of the shit. I felt like I like actually needed to know. I had to build all this on my own. No handouts. Had to make all my own money.
Mhm.
Had to find out how to be a dad early. I'm still finding out how to be a fucking husband. It's beautiful, man. Day after day, I'm always learning how to be, a better husband, a better human being. Um, because yeah, I mean, I explained it a little bit in the last episode, but like this relationship I'm in now is by far the longest relationship I've ever been in. The only serious, serious, serious relationship I've ever been in, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah,
You could do it.
yeah, man. You
Yeah,
got
bro.
what else you got?
Well, man, like since we always talk sports and different things like that, right? And since we're in the area of family, love, things of that nature, right? What do you and we've played a bit of sports sometimes and different things like that. Can I ask, do you think that sports, let me ask you one question first. Do you think that sports have anything or competition has anything to do with the person that you are today?
Um, that is a great question. I want to say yes and no. I want to say yes because, like, as you know, as everybody knows, I'm huge into sports. Sports is like my life almost revolves around fucking sports. We're doing this podcast. We watch it on TV. I'm spending a lot of time on my day researching and betting on the shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fucking playing the video games. You know what I mean? Like at one point in time in my life, I'm in the batting cages. I'm fucking
Mm-hmm.
playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah, man. I mean, because it's just like you learn some really beautiful things in sports, beautiful stories. It's kind of like it teaches you that like never give up. Kind of, it's corny. I know that's
Mm-hmm.
very corny what I just said.
Mm-hmm.
But it teaches you that because there's a lot of fucking Cinderella stories in sports. There's a lot of story, especially the it's as simple as like a franchise or a player keeps working at their team or their actual talent. They keep working on it and working on it. Eventually it's gonna just fucking work out. And I think that's just the theme of life. Like, sometimes do humans get very fucking lucky? Yes. Like there was a woman in a town, by where I live, well, where we live in, that
Uh-huh.
won fucking $3 million at a gas station in fucking Cobleskill. Fuck Cobleskill. I hate going to Cobleskill. I go there like 3 times a week for my job, but I couldn't stop at that gas station on that day. But some lady who has like barely any fucking teeth is winning, fucking $3 million. You feel me? But mostly in life, like true success, like it really takes like you working at it every single day, every single hour. And you just work on it and work on it and work on it, and you try to be as consistent as possible. But when that consistency happens,
Uh-huh.
that's what really makes life. That's what really makes you a winner. And I correlate that to sports because with sports it's the same thing. Like franchise, like you see it today. I think for example, you could talk about the Boston Celtics, the New York
Uh-huh.
Knicks, the Los Angeles Dodgers, those teams that are really up. It wasn't just they threw a lot of money. They really, you think about their journeys, like the Boston Celtics, like with the whole Brad Stevens thing, the Nets trade, building Jason Tatum into a star, Jalen Brown being that second star, being able to navigate with Porzingis and Holiday. You got the Knicks. They were just fucking garbage. They were ass cheeks. They were the laughing stock of the league for so long. That was built very lengthily over time. The Dodgers, like they've been running shit since fucking when Manny Ramirez was a goddamn Dodger. But the way they've done it, the way they've made their moves, the way they've built their farm system, their coaching system, it's just you work at it. You work at it year by year, day by day. And eventually you're a beast because you didn't give up and you just kept playing your cards.
Uh.
So
So
yeah,
you
my bad. Sorry for the long
nah
answer, but
nah that was dope because you
yeah,
answered the
yeah,
question too. Because I was gonna the next part of that question was what do you think romantic relationships can learn from team dynamic in sports? But that's basically how you summed it up, right?
yeah,
So can I ask you this though? Can someone be in love with the grind and a person, and does one
yeah.
suffer?
Um, Suffrage is in the eye of the beholder, I think. I personally believe because it's like kind of what I'm honestly like how you laid it out is exactly what I'm going through right now. Like me and my fiance, we're both grinding, we're
Mm-hmm.
both like fucking hustling, we're both like
Mm-hmm.
out there just doing. Like she's really making a lot of progress with her cooking. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making progress with the podcast, and then also
Mm-hmm.
in my current job, I'm fucking really grinding over there too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think you can. It's just both people got to understand. There has to be a big level of understanding there. So that's why I think the answer is absolutely yes. But I see in a lot of cases why it's no, because you always get that one partner that wants to spend more time or wants to do more this or more that. And I think that's the beautiful thing. Another beautiful thing about me and my fiance's relationship is we're trying to do so much, and we're also figuring out ways to cater to our own needs.
Mm-hmm.
That we both share together. So I think the answer is absolutely yes, but it takes understanding. It takes actual effort for that to get done.
Mm-hmm. And then the nuanced things within that, the communication, the
Yeah.
upfrontness. You know
Yeah, I
what I
was gonna say,
mean?
how do you feel about that?
Yes, I feel
Yeah.
yes. I believe that yes, it can. I believe I live the same way. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You kind of explain my dynamic as well. You know what I mean. Like we both at it. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I think that what's very important is understanding and being willing to swing and miss together too. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's all a part of it because if there's going to be unified growth, there's going to be ideas that you have that may work. There's going to be ideas that she has that may work. And then there's going to be ideas that both of you have that don't work. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? That you know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. We're still going. We're
And
still,
it
you know what I mean?
and then
So
yeah, and it takes sacrifice because like
a
literally
lot
what
of it.
you're doing is and this was like such a great quote that I had heard. It's like you're basically betting your life on this person.
Hmm.
You're betting your entire life on this person, and man, I'm all in, man. Like
Hmm.
I love it. It's a good dynamic. It's a lot of learning, bro. I feel like every day I'm just fucking learning. Like I'm still a student. Like I'm just learning the necessary shit that I need to learn.
Yeah, that's life too. That's why it's all together. You know what I mean? I love that, bro. All right, so here's another one for you now. since we love sports and things like that, right? Can I ask, what would your first love be? Would it be hip hop, sports, or a person? Well, music, sports, or a person?
Man, my first.
Your
I
first
feel like I
love.
haven't answered. First love.
Would it be
Well, definitely.
music?
Well,
Would it be
I don't
sport?
think it was a necessary a person because I wasn't really falling in love until I was in like high school type shit.
Mm-hmm.
I had my little crushes before that, but
Mm-hmm.
like I didn't really feel like what love felt and felt the hurt of love until some of those relationships I was in high school. Um, Sports. I mean, I was around sports, but I didn't really come around too deeply into sports until like I was playing video games and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think like, and I'm so happy that my kids got this like this gene too. I think honestly, my first love was life itself, bro.
Okay.
Like as a kid, I was just so interested in every single fucking little thing. I was into everything, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was just, I was so happy. I was so, just looking to do the best things that I possibly can, have the most fun that I possibly can. Like
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm getting fucking yelled at by my dad, I'm trying to find a fucking fun way through that.
Uh-huh.
So I truly think like my first love in life was life itself.
Fire. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mine's gonna be music. Yeah, my first
Okay.
love. Yeah, my first
Yeah.
love was music. That's like so. No matter
Yeah.
what, when I close my eyes,
That's
that's
good
one.
though.
Yeah,
That's
that's one of
good.
the first things that I
Yeah.
remember. One, you know what I mean? Like songs that I don't even know where to go get them. You know what I mean? Like that I
Yeah. Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
like my grandmother playing. You know what I mean? Like all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like or
For me, it was LimeWire.
you know what I mean? Literally, bro. Or my grandfather singing them to me. You know what I mean? Like it was always like music oriented to kind of balance and keep the mood up. So I know, yeah, my first love was definitely music. All right, I got a couple more for you, right? So here's some funny shit. Name a rapper you'd want to write your breakup song. No, 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 no. I said that wrong.
That was a funny question. Though.
Yeah. I said that wrong. I got a twist on that. I got a twist on this. So let's bleep that, right? Name a rapper that you would want as your relationship coach.
Honest. You know what? I mean, this is the first name that came to mind. Like without thinking of too many other names. I think crazy. I feel like I'd have to go with Kendrick Lamar, brother, because like they like their whole relationship got really attacked during the whole Drake
uh-huh.
beef, like what Drake was trying to say, what the media was saying, all that
Uh-huh.
kind of thing. And they ended up still, I mean, from what we see, I mean, obviously we don't know too much about Kendrick's personal life, but from what
Uh-huh.
we see, like their relationship like thrived through that. Like they were dancing in a music video. She was supporting them, through all this shit. So and Drake was really coming hard for that, like like their
Uh-huh.
relationship and shit. And they, he's rich and famous, but like he has this ability to pull away from that fake life, like
Uh-huh.
what's not real. I mean, obviously it's real that he's rich and he's a rapper and all that shit, but you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
pedestal that he's put on and
Yeah.
all that shit, he's able to step away from that. And they're able to have a functioning family with two kids they have two kids, right?
Yes.
And how, famous he is. I think they've probably been through a lot of shit, man. They've
Mm-hmm.
probably absolutely been through a lot of shit. So for them to still make it to today, of course. I think Jay-Z and Beyonce are only together because like Jay-Z was rich and Beyonce looks great. I truly believe
Oh wow.
that.
All right. So you saying like he did the rich nigga shit, like he pulled it
I,
because he
I just
rich.
feel like a divorce between them would just be messy as fuck. I don't feel like they truly like love each other like that. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll let you have that. Okay.
There's no way, brother.
There's no why huh? So listen. Let's. I just want to parking lot that because I want to say something real quick. Not parking lot that. I want to just add something to that. So I find that kind of ironic because for some reason people tend to believe that people who because I can't say that about Jay-Z. I guess Jay-Z, everybody's always like kind of made fun of how he looks and stuff like that, right? So that's why I asked, was it like no, not being funny, that's just, you know what I mean, something that people try to do, right?
Yeah.
But I guess being funny. But they people always try, I wonder that a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like are people together? People think that people are together because one person has money and one person has looks and different things like that. What about when two people look good? Or how do we know? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, how do we
I hear
know?
you.
You know what I'm
I hear
saying?
you.
Like on real shit, like who's wanted more, or you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean
Like,
that's why it's like I said, it's all a guess because like at the end of the day, they're celebrities. I mean, who knows? Kendrick and his wife could be like fucking terrible, together at home, or like Jay-Z and Beyonce could be like the most in love human beings at
yeah, you
home. But
never
like
know.
I don't know,
Yeah,
like what I've ingested and what my brain
because of
processes.
yes, it's a
I
money thing.
really feel like because like Beyonce doesn't only look good, she's like a goddess almost. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And Jay-Z, it's like what you said, like Jay-Z's Jay-Z. But at the end of the day, he came into it with a lot of money. He was like, "Hey girl, what up?" She
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Fuck it, you got mad money, why not?" I don't know, they don't really showcase their love too much into the public, like
Mm-hmm.
at all, ever.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, man. But like I said, I could be totally wrong. I mean, because like you got Rihanna and bum ass fucking ASAP Rocky out here, but she's in love with that man, producing 3 kids for that man. He's broke. Like that's love, I
Whoa,
think.
whoa, 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 whoa! But broke by whose standards?
Well, I mean, broke because like I mean, like by Rihanna
Cause see,
standards.
that's it. Cause that's exactly what I
Like he
mean.
probably has money, but
That's
like I know
because,
he's been in debt. I know he's like I heard like a rumor that he was gonna file for bankruptcy, like shit like that.
but you just leveled out the thing that I was exactly trying to point out. That's
Yeah,
exactly it. Because like, of course, like we can go to monetary value and shit like that, which is how it's going to be perceived if there is a breakup, right? Like
right,
who
right, right.
got the most money and shit like that, who's getting what and whatever, whatever, whatever. But while people are in a relationship and shit like that, I don't think that either of them are, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think that they're both are masking, accumulating, whatever. Of course, the public, because of the fandom and the star that Rihanna is going to highlight her income and shit like that. But I don't think ASAP Rocky is not getting no money. You understand what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like he's a
They
fashion
all getting
dude.
money, like
You know what I mean?
regardless.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's getting bread.
yeah,
And then the other thing is like not like that, but I mean, because there's a big ass scale between 1 million and 100 million anyway, and
right, right,
100 million and a billion. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a
yeah.
lot. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just be trippy to me because it just be like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm from the days of like you pull her, like you know what I mean, like you pull her because you pull her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah. No, I
ASAP.
hear you.
That's what ASAP Rocky did. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like his career is going down. He's
I like
actually
his music, man. His
nah.
music's cool.
I don't really listen to too much. I like the early shit. I like that
Well,
I
there's
love how he controls a crowd.
like songs of his are like if you find the songs that are like mashup of some like older songs or like a vocalist or whatever, and he's rapping over that. I honestly find that shit fucking
Yeah,
fire.
his old shit. I love a lot of
Um,
that old shit. But yeah,
yeah, hell yeah.
that was a quick
So
sidebar. Yeah, I was just trying.
I got some questions for you, and then I think we could just fucking get out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right, what's your social security number? No, man, just sorry,
Oh,
fuck.
dang. I believe now.
But
Mm-hmm.
so I got one last question, then we can hit the fucking high road.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this could be funny, it could be whatever, but what are your hottest takes that you got on life? I know we give hot takes on sports,
Mm-hmm.
but we need some hot takes about just life. For me,
Uh.
I think there should be an age limit to have your driver's license. I think after like 60, 65, you should automatically have to let that shit go.
Mm-hmm.
There's too many times, bro. I'm in the road and old people are going super fucking slow. I'm trying to like I get it. You already grinded in life.
Mm-hmm.
You already fucking, you did your time and you're just enjoying it, driving slow, whatever. But I'm trying to get to fucking life. I'm trying to get to that grind. I'm trying to get where, them old motherfuckers are at. Get the
Mm-hmm.
fuck out my way. Speed up. Like you're like I get so pissed and then I get I pull up next to them ready to fucking like flip them off or some shit,
Uh-huh.
and it's the fucking oldest lady or oldest fucking
And
man
ain't
I've
even
ever
looking
fucking
at
seen,
all.
bro.
Like, yeah, they're just like this.
Yeah, just like fucking just living their life. They have no fucking awareness that you're pissed off.
Yeah.
They might look at you and fucking smile.
Yeah. And in their car is probably like 95 degrees.
Right, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh,
But yo, man, listen, man, I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna say something like, listen, the best ability is availability. You understand what I'm saying?
okay,
Like real shit. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You understand what I'm
okay,
saying? Listen, I believe shit like the dream is real, but the hustle is sold separately. You understand what I'm saying?
Hallelujah.
Like literally.
Time never leaves. It just needs a different stage.
Real talk. You understand what I'm saying? Like literally. You understand what like literally, my guy. Listen, man, like a lot of people, man, just need to, you know what I mean, adopt some sort of philosophy or something that they could. You said something real early that they're gonna rewind back to and we can cross, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually clip this, man, where you talked about like early in life, you know what I mean, how the type of music that you liked and how, you know what I mean, it changed once you got older and you developed a routine. That's what motherfuckers need to do. Get a philosophy, motherfucker. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Repeat that shit enough times so
Get a
you believe
philosophy,
it. You
brother.
keep going. You understand what I'm saying? And then when that gets
One.
redundant, replace it with another one. You understand what I'm saying? Because real
Hell yeah.
shit, man, you got to, listen, man, you got to wake up, dress up, and show the fuck up. That's how you gonna see me. That's another thing
Look,
my
that's
mama
the
gave
most
me.
important thing, and I'll leave everybody with that. I fuck with that, because there's just been so many situations in my life where I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know how to get out of this. It's just fucking impossible. But the answer has always been, just show up. You never fucking know. Just keep, day after
Yes,
day, you keep fucking
yes,
going. You never fucking know.
yes.
But it's that time that you curl up in a ball. It's that time that you just fucking let go. Is the times you really get fucked in this
Mm-hmm.
life. But with that being said, we hope
Mm.
everybody liked our conversation. This was different. I just get to chop it up with my guy Kem. Make sure
Yes,
you
sir.
guys like, subscribe, leave some feedback. If you want to see more of this, let us know.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of our overseas viewers. You guys are like
Yes.
really tuning in on the audio
Yes.
side. We're
Yes.
on 33 different platforms, so don't be afraid to look us up anywhere else. We'll catch you. Well, we,
Yeah.
we got a lot more content coming, man.
Yeah. Join the
We're
conversation.
sizzling.
Join the
Every
conversation.
Saturday, every Tuesday, there will be an episode.
You gonna see it.
Tune in.
Yes.